Today we're going to talk all about mobility, and no, I don't mean hitting into that thing and flying. Okay, that is a pretty cool trick, but we're going to talk about crash pads, we're going to talk about shockwaves, we're going to talk about jetpacks, we're going to talk about everything to do with mobility. All right, because this is a very important conversation. I have 3 flex SMGs. I don't know why. What are we doing here, bud? Headshot. So Fortnite updated recently, and they made some pretty big changes. By the way, this is not mobility. You can carry 4 of these now. I don't get it. I don't know why that's in the game. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know why that's in the game. Maybe it's the best item ever. I just don't know. But congrats, you can go invisible. Invisibility's never really been that great in Fortnite, you know? All right, it kind of lasts a little long now. Maybe I'm wrong. Nah, it's bad. Look, shockwaves are back. Ladies and gentlemen, I know a lot of people are requesting them. Yes, shockwaves are back, but there's a shocking change to them, okay? A shocking change. And I will show you them when I find some more shockwaves, which there's some right here. Boom. I just need a little bit more shockwaves. Ow. Luckily for me, he can't build there. Also the reason why I took some damage. Who's throwing grenades? Those are really accurate grenades. I don't like that. Is he chilling this time? Ooh. Why can't you build there? This is a really weird spot to build. Just be careful if you're going to try to build it here. I don't know what's going on. So yeah, they did make a change to shockwaves. And as you can see, I have 4 in my inventory right here. And there's 2 over here. Well, usually you can carry 6 of them. Now you can't. You can only carry a 4 stack of them. I know a lot of people are going to feel some type of way about them, but I'll kind of tell you why I think Fortnite made the change and why it might not be as bad as you think. On that note as well, though, crash pads have been removed from the game. They have been vaulted. I know a lot of people didn't like them in comparison to shockwaves. I think shockwaves are very, very simple to use. That's why a lot of people like them. They're very simple to use and extremely effective. By the way, the new lock-on AR is in there. These also got buffed. They drive faster. Look at this. They're more durable, I think, too. I mean, this thing might not be the worst thing to drive. We also got, in terms of mobility, we got Rumi's empowered sword. This does make you run faster, and you can survive fall damage by slamming down. So I would consider this mobility as well. So right now for mobility, then we have shockwaves, we have Rumi's empowered sword, and we also have jetpacks. And you might be thinking, oh, jetpacks probably suck now because you can now just lock onto people, right? Don't worry, it's gonna be okay because the auto aim AR is actually really bad. It doesn't do a lot of damage, and it takes a long time to lock on. Like, somebody with a dead eye will be able to output way more damage than somebody with a lock-on AR. So no worries about that. Look at a gray MK7. Oh, look, my pony over here. Oh my gosh, the pink pony club. So I think obviously the best mobility is going to be shockwaves. Even if you only can carry 4, everybody else can only carry 4. And I think Fortnite's whole mentality behind it is they want to balance shockwaves for both build mode and for zero build. Now, the thing about build mode and shockwaves is that, say I built this lovely just contraption here. You see this massive build. I'm in the house, whatever. Johnny Appleseed over here is like, heck that. And he just busts through it all. All right. Or if I'm in here, I'm fighting somebody and I'm trying to track them. Maybe they're upstairs. Like, say this is the 2nd floor. Maybe they're upstairs. I'm trying to track them. And when they're up here, they could just, or say they drop down here, I'm up there, they just do this and fly, and now that person's completely disoriented and has no idea where the person that shockwave went, right? Like, that can be annoying, and it's an easy out in basically every fight if you just shockwave, because it's true, it's hard to track people. Now, the reason why shockwaves were removed was because of that issue, and also they thought that it was not as skillful as something like crash pads, and it could make something not fun for somebody. So if I use a shockwave, I can just fly on top of somebody. I can be super aggressive if I'm a good player, or I can escape if I'm a good player. It's honestly an item that's really great for a good player, which is funny because not all weapons and items are like that. For example, the auto aim AR, I think, is a weapon designed for bad players, because a good player using it will not do better than a good player using a Deadeye. Shockwaves, on the other hand, are insanely overpowered in pros' hands, and then they're also really overpowered in noobs' hands. But the pro's gonna have the edge. Now, we all saw Nick A30 complaining about the shockwaves, and everyone thinks that he got them removed. I'll tell you this, guys. Look, Nick A30 is not the reason it got removed. You know, he can voice his opinion. I don't think Epic is like, we're gonna do everything Nick A30 says. No, they got a whole game with hundreds of thousands, millions of people playing it, and they're not gonna just bank their whole decision off something Nick A30 says, right? So let's just be realistic about that. They also believe, maybe something similar to Nick A30, that shockwaves were a problem for the current health of the game. So that's why they try to add in crash pads. Crash pads are a bit more skilled. You can shoot them out. You have to run into them, yada, yada, yada. But a lot of community backlash and people are like, we want Shockwaves back. We want Shockwaves back. Kind of missed them too. All right, I kind of miss them too. I do have one fix for them, which I'll explain a little bit later, and I think could fix a lot of the problems. Maybe we'll see that. I don't know. Maybe you guys will be like, oh, if that's added, TG's the one that got it done. I'll explain that a little bit, but yeah, Fortnite tried to fix it by just reducing the amount of shockwaves you have. Now you can't just shockwave away 6 times in a fight, right? You actually have to go ahead and do something about the fight eventually, because 4 shocks in the grand scheme of things isn't like a crazy amount. It's a good amount, but it's not a crazy amount. Typically when you run into people, like they had shockwaves in excess of 4, 5, 6 shockwaves because they were pretty easy to find. I think they came in drops of 3 before. They were like incredibly abundant. And I do think in Fortnite putting that out there, they were actually testing to see how like crazy shockwaves could be if they gave everyone like 1 million of them, you know? So test concluded, and then with that data, they were like, oh, hey, this is what we think. Oh, wow, I'm getting shot in the back. I gotta use some brain cells here. Absolutely destroy that guy, by the way. Man, I just picked up a 30 chug. That's just down bad. Ooh. Oh, you know what? There's another mobility item. It's Tiger's teleporting mask, which that's actually to me going to be better than shockwaves. Yep. I'm locking in my answer. I think the best mobility right now is going to be the Tiger's teleporting mask. That's only going to last probably as long as the collab. So this thing, you could use 3 charges if it's a runaway. It recharges pretty fast. They're pretty abundant. Popping this for 10. Oh, yeah, try to see the lock-on AR do that. It's not going to. I mean, we're in a good spot where a lot of the mobility items do work quite well. So I think it's a pretty good thing. I think Fortnite's a game that needs mobility like in it, guaranteed. This guy shoot me. Oh, I think I see it. That is not the guy. I'm just gonna go up here. Ooh, what? It's nice of him. He's just gonna let me heal. I'm confused where he went. I think he's still here, honestly. So yeah, I think 4 shockwaves is fairly balanced. Like, you can't just spam 6 and run away. You can spam 4 and run away, which is still quite overpowered. But then you introduce something like Tiger's teleporting mask, which you can use 3 times, right? 1 less than a shockwave. And it's incredible. It goes really far. It goes further than a shockwave. It's more balanced, all that good stuff. Look at that. So when you pit these 2 mobility items together, the question is like, which one do people use? And I think probably less experienced players will probably use shockwaves. The more experienced players will probably use the mask because it's better, you know? They want to make it like a give and take in Fortnite, which I think is a good way of looking at it. Oh, there he goes. That's what people complain about. Oh my gosh, shredded that guy. Oh, there's a boss underneath me. I'm gonna go to this guy's loot. Oh, thank you for the shockwaves, brother. You can also go like exactly where you want with the mask, which is nice. I think that's a big bonus. Oh, this guy's in the water. What the heck? Yeah, I think a big thing is that with these shockwaves, there's only pros. There's not really cons. Now there's cons to carrying it because you can only hold 4 instead of 6. And the same thing with the Tiger's teleporting mask. If you use all 3 charges, right, then you have to wait. The thing is, like, I could go ahead and set this in a bush, fight somebody, and if things don't go my way, I could just teleport, right? Boom. And now I'm safe. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Look at that. I just want to go down and fight this guy. Oh. Awkward. He's done for. Done like dinner. Okay, it's gonna pull all the way over there. Use shockwave, combination of shockwave and the mask. Start flying, start moving. So yeah, I actually do think it's a great mobility change, and it gives a lot more variety into the loot pool. I think that's fantastic. I think it's going to be interesting to see what the majority of players use as their mobility. I suspect that a lot of people will still be using Shockwaves, but you should know that the mask is better. I don't know how long the mask will be in the game, and then that'll present a new problem for Fortnite. Like what happens after that, it'll probably be predominantly a Shockwave meta, but like a lot of options. There's a lot of options. Oh my goodness. Oh my, that was clean. Let me know what you think about the Shockwave situation. Oh, and my solution. I think Shockwaves, when you use them, they should put a contrail behind you like the jetpacks have. You know how you can see people flying, and they have like a color flying behind them with them? I think if you do that with Shockwaves, it fixes a lot of the issues of like disorientation and people just flying away and you not knowing where they go. But it doesn't fix the problem. People just going across a far distance using a lot of Shockwaves. So I think it's a great idea. Fortnite, if you want to take it, it's on the house. And let me know what you guys think in the comments. GG.